We've made it, disc golf fans, to another final round coverage here on Gatekeeper Media. This one being the 2023 Birdie Open, presented by yours truly and supported by Innova. This is such an exciting A-Tier here in Newark, Delaware at Iron Hill Disc Golf Course. And I just want to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters who have been supporting us through these years as we continue to grow and provide coverage. So my name is Chris. We have Derek here, bringing it one final time for this coverage. How are you feeling going into this final?
Feeling really good. The love that we get at this course is like no other. Super appreciative of all the locals supporting us over the years. We have been with this event since its first year on the national tour with the PDGA back in 2018. So we've been excited to be along for the ride and see it in many different facets over the years. Jumping into hole one, starting off with a par 4, 625 feet, we see this dog leg to the right rearing up on us now in our drone preview. Name of the game is to beat that corner. You don't want to carry too straight, otherwise you're going to find yourself in pretty heavy wooded areas. You also don't want to be early right, as that is jail as well. So really clean swing left to right to beat that corner. However you can get it done. Land in the center. You're going to have, a relatively fair gap to get into the green, and then we have a slightly elevated pin to finish it off.
Yeah, first up on the box, we have Cody Bradshaw. He has a 3-stroke lead on second place, and he put up a 10 down in round 2, which anytime you're reaching double digits, that is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
We're able to see and have the pleasure of another lefty for our second round. So we have Moe Reiss, or Reiss, I should say. Sorry. So we're going to see a lot of great lines and angles out of the lefty.
Whoa.
With that right there.
Whoa.
That is so far down the fairway. That is just a little pitch up.
He hugged that right side on the inside of the turn there. That really helped gain a lot more distance.
And Johansen, we get to see him 3 rounds in a row, able to keep himself on lead card the entire time after his feature card, round 1. And then Mark Fedorenko, another new face to Gatekeeper here.
I do believe he's from the Pittsburgh area.
Excited to see his game. Based on the black and yellow, I could assume Pittsburgh.
He's right there on the right edge.
Fun fact, I believe Pittsburgh is the only major sports city where all of their sports teams are black and yellow. That is a great shot. Putting himself inside the circle should be an easy birdie. And 3 strokes is definitely a pretty good cushion, but this is the type of course where it could change up on you really quick.
I mean, round 2 showed us the roller coaster that is Iron Hill. So, I mean, we saw swings happening throughout the entire round.
So Cody definitely needs to keep his foot on the pedal, play smart today, and should be able to see an A-Tier win. These other guys, they're going to need to be aggressive and grab a lot of green and keep the bogeys minimal. Moe making it look easy. Lefty hyzer, lefty hyzer.
All right.
Great putt from Mark. This is a really promising start for the card. Just a couple mid-range putts here, and should see a star frame, barring anything crazy happening. There was another one. Cody for his birdie. He's in as well. Great start for the card. I don't know if we've seen many star frames this tournament, so it's great to see as we're going to move into hole 2. First par 3 of the course, 380 feet. This one's tough, really hard to get into the green, or at least park the hole, I would say. A lot of discs end up around circle's edge, maybe 50 feet or so. There's a couple different lines you can take. I would say most people are going to try this hyzer on this right side. Have something kind of glide, something a little more understable. And there you go. I mean, that right there is the shot. Kind of have to miss some trees on the right, but it's your best way to get down into the green, where this usually ends up either catching a tree or just early left.
Just from like a pure aesthetic standpoint, I think this is one of my favorite looking holes here at the course. I think it's just got this nice winding path going down the middle. Very lush, very serene. Something really nice and to be said about kind of walking up to this early in your round.
Johansen's over here on the left, a little tricky. He's going to have to get creative to save his par. Great shot from him. Putting it right under the basket. Fading a little early for Tony. Unfortunately, doesn't catch any trees. It's going to put him close to circle's edge. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All right, Mark, 2 big putts to start the round. This one, we're going to take another look. Weak side, barely, no, didn't need any chains. Catches the edge of the basket. 2 for 2. This is a great start. Good par save from Tony. Just about 20, 25 feet or so. These are good putts to make early in your round. Get your confidence up. Is that his mini that he's looking at, or?
Yeah, I think that he had an ant on the mini or some sort of bug. But anyway, we're going into hole 3, par 4, 760 feet. Name of the game is to finish left, but not too far, because you want to give yourself the best angle to approach this tricky green here. As we've seen here, your approach, like you said last round, if you're in the ditch on your approach, it's not the end of the world. It's you don't want to be down there when you're putting at it.
This looks like it's going a little too left. Probably just going to play for par from there. That's a little short and left.
I think it's far enough back to keep the angle more open than if he's nestled up on that tree line.
2 for 2 with catching those branches. This Mark should have an okay line from there. You really just want to make sure you don't end up right. This is a crush. That is too far. That is
Not a lot, yeah. Not a lot with that angle.
so much distance on that one from Tony. That's going to be a tricky approach. Michael Joe needs to get out of there. That's going right into where you don't want to be.
So that's a similar shot to what we saw MJ have on round 1. Just a little high out of the hand.
Cody getting caught up. Great progression there, though. Looks like a layup and par at best.
little patent pending action from Johansen.
Into
Really
a
sharp
roller.
angle, yeah.
I don't know if that was a roller or thrower. Either way, he still has some work here just to save his par.
I was going to say, I think it's more of just I need to get down there a little bit more.
Mark, great shot from him. He's going to be looking at a turkey. Looks like Tony actually made it so far that he like made it through that stuff. Tricky approach for MJ. Very easy to have this disc just drop right down into the bottom of that hillside there.
I think that's the right move for Cody.
Same for Tony. Sit down. And Mark as well. He's not even going to risk it.
Looks at the camera guy, says, "I don't think so." Great par
putt
save.
Yeah, great putt.
We saw MJ struggle from that general area once before in this event.
Couple pars for the team here. This hole came in a quarter stroke over par. Not a lot of birdies. So, as we've been saying all tournament, par is good. All right, moving into hole 4. Another open shot here, par 4, 675 feet. You want to have a disc that finishes left to right. Perfect landing zone should set you up for a nice straight approach through this little tunnel you got going on here. You can go to the left or the right and miss a couple trees to get into the green. Also, OB long that you have to contend with, so something to keep in mind. As yesterday, this played as, I believe, the easiest hole. And again today, another hole that you want to get here, especially from this lead card. If you are taking a birdie here, you're keeping up with the field. Par, you are losing strokes. Pretty good roller. I would say a little far to the left. You definitely want to miss right if you're going any way. Open up the fairway a little more.
I like the play there for Tony, keeping it low, forcing that right edge. I don't think he got quite as much of the ground play as he was hoping.
MJ close to where he ended up in the first round. Or last round, sorry.
Yeah, a little more wide open for him this time around. This is a great drive here for Cody.
Yeah, just a nice little hyzer, a little bit of ground action, and he just gets caught up by one of those trees.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And on the other side of the coin, trees do give sometimes as well. Oh, there goes taken again.
Good approach there from Cody, just to put himself stress-free. Needs to, whoa, I like that line. That was looking pretty good. OB on the backside doesn't really come in too much because there is, oh wow, that hit the basket.
I think so, yeah. Wow.
But yeah, this little ditch here is kind of, it's okay to just have your disc funnel into that. It's only like a 15, 20 footer. So Mark's able to get his par just like that. And we'll have a couple tap-ins as this came in 0.21 under par, so much easier than the other days, and played as the easiest hole today.
Hole 5 is a par 5 with 780 foot of distance, slight serpentine all the way up, slight grade uphill as well, finishing off with a elevated and guarded basket. Name of the game is to have a placement shot right at that first bend when the fairway leaks to the left. And you want to be just far enough left to where you have a straight shot up the gut for the next portion of the fairway. That's going to be pretty tricky, as if you are too far to the right, you don't have much to work with your angle.
This looks great. Needs to just stop.
That's a little short
line as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with, and we've mentioned in the previous rounds, on this hole in particular, just 1 foot left or right makes all the world difference. If Cody was 1 foot to the right, he'd have a much better line. And if that was 1 foot to the left, he'd be much better because he's right behind that tree.
But maybe even just like 1 or 2 feet forward in that line as well. Again, just a little short. That tee pad there that we saw in the last shot is kind of the ideal landing area.
And that's not the worst there. All you have to do is just progress at least to this bend on your second shot. Like, these guys can get aggressive and still try to get their birdie. MJ basically in almost prime position, and he executes. That is perfect shot. All work as well. Tony probably going to go turnover. A little too much turn and a good tree kick. Stopped him up, but kept him from going too far left. Tough lie for Cody. Just kind of throws it straight.
We see a lot of people filter where we just saw MJ land.
Playing a little tough for the guys. Not able to really get in there as that one gets stopped down as well.
Mark will find himself on the dance floor, though, nonetheless. Looks like Tony a little obstructed, but on top as well.
Not far from where MJ was last time. A little further in distance.
Oh.
Dang. That would have been a great birdie.
Yeah, so Tony having to straddle further out to the right to get that line, get enough room for his swing.
Yeah, it was a good par save. He was pretty pinched off on that first shot and executed some really good ones to have a stress-free par. As
got to take your time there, Mark.
He's going to short arm that and can't be giving up strokes here.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you take a shot for granted, right? Like from like a professional level, you have to treat every shot like it's just as important as the previous.
Yeah, that would have been a great birdie to grab. especially with the leader taking a bogey, is we're going to move into hole 6, par 4, 625, 190 meters. Nice little S-curve, really. This fairway shapes exactly like an S. We have a nice little bend to the left, and then we have a nice little bend to the right. This one's all about placement, and too far straight and right really makes a tough angle. If you go too far left, there's a wall of trees that come into play. And I would really say that's the theme of this course. This course is really all about placement.
Yeah, I think something to consider for the tee shot here is that it's okay to play a little bit on the lighter side for this first shot, because right around where the landing zone is, you will see a slight grade forward and downhill into like a little gully, not a gully, but like a slight gradual ditch. So if you play a little shorter, you let gravity kind of swing you a little further ahead as well. You know, you really don't want to have to take off too much on the first.
Yeah, like we saw from that second shot from Mark, it's going to be a tough angle. This as well. That just kind of flipped over on him. It's going to be a pretty tricky par save from here.
And he gets stopped up. Now he's going to have those trees on the left to contend with. We have that small wall there that Tony's going through right now.
He gets caught up as well. Because MJ kind of ended up over here the other rounds as well, and you kind of filtered down the circle's edge to the left is really common. That's kind of where that disc was heading right there. A little shorter than normal, but
first time he has not found himself left of the green this event.
Yeah. So this is looking great from Cody. Yeah. Such a great flex forehand there.
Oh, that's really one option from there.
Oh, Mark making it work. That right there is a well-deserved birdie. Found the little left side gap. Tony just dropping in. Should have an easy par. There's more slope here than you think. It's very easy to get a roll away as well. Wow. MJ just big putting on this hole all weekend long. Good par for Tony Moe. Mark, great birdie from him. 3 down through 6 now, with 1 left on the table. It's getting tight. 2 strokes. Anything can happen.
Maybe I need to save one for the next drive.
Time delay, dude. That's a courtesy violation.
That's a stroke. You're down by 3 now, potty mouth.
All right, we're back at it here on hole 7, 370-foot par 3, downhill all the way, weaving through trees. So you want to thread the needle here. Straight shot that kind of gradually drifts to the right is going to be something you're looking for. Not a lot in terms of being forceful on this hole, because remember, it's downhill, so you're playing probably closer to 345 or so.
This needs to get flippy, and it does. That's looking great from MJ. He's going to have a circle's edge putt for birdie. It's pretty common for a disc to end up over there. Now you just kind of have a long circle 2 look. Cody shows right there that you could just throw it straight and really put yourself in a position to be able to get a birdie. It's going to be just outside the circle.
Drop it in, baby. That's in.
Good angle.
Oh,
Tony.
man.
Oh, That was looking so good out of the
Wow.
hand. It's big for Cody. Needs to put some green back on the scorecard.
Oh, thought we were going to get it elevated in there.
Man. All right, MJ, last one, and he gets it. 2 in a row now for MJ. And a couple cleanups for the rest of the card. So that's going to bring us into hole 8. Hole 8 is the last hole that plays under par here at Iron Hill for this final round. Par 5, 780 feet. Another serpentine type hole, but this one really tough footing. So many boulders and rocks and roots to deal with. Uphill the entire way. A lot of different ways to get down to the green here. You kind of choose your own path after this first shot, depending on where you lie. But the best shot is you want to hug this right side and then fade right before that tree. A little too far left there for MJ, but good idea nonetheless, and should be able to progress. You can get very aggressive with a flex forehand if you got it. But a lot of that usually ends up to being on the right, and as we saw in the past, the right is kind of your own path. It's really what you see when you're over there. We're now 2 for 3 over there on that right side.
A little wide there for Cody, leaving himself furthest out.
And you can see right there, he's not even going down the fairway. And finds the fairway somehow.
And so, like, that line over there that we just saw Cody throw does kind of go over the tee area of 9, just to give you kind of a perspective of layout of the course.
Tony looking at a line over here.
Pretty good.
And he's going to be chugging along on the right side. He's on that walking path back to hole 9, so has some opening.
We got Mark on the right as well. A little hard to see where he ended up.
His third shot, really tough shot here as well, especially to a raised basket. Cody's got a long look for birdie. This is looking buttery from MJ.
Wow.
Great shot. Nice little flip up to straight.
Mark finding use of the footpath leading to hole 9. Tony as well.
He's missed the tree. Oh. It's going to be a little bit of a long look for birdie. So Mark's going to have to just settle for the par. Tony catching that tree there. Kept him from going inside the circle.
Ooh.
Cody for his birdie. Hey. Good putt from Cody on the raised basket. Great birdie to take. So again, this is the last hole that played under par, so get your birdies now while you can. Because 9 through 12 is a very, very tough stretch here. Mark making it fun. Keeping it light is MJ. Taking the turkey. String of pars there for Tony.
All right. We're ending our front nine here on hole 9, 555-foot par 4, sharp dogleg to the right with a tree right in the middle there. And as I said it before, we all nestle down and filter down into this bowl area for the pin. That sunspot there, clearing kind of ahead, is relatively where you would be wanting to land.
Yeah, if you just throw a straight shot and hit that spot that you're talking about, it really sets up for a good second shot. You don't have to get too aggressive. The aggressive play, though, is you wanted this to finish left to right, but it's very, so that's the good kind of straight landing zone. You can get aggressive and try to get left to right, but it brings so many other factors in, turning it over into the right side, pushing it too straight and pinching yourself off left.
Ooh, and that's not far enough to be left yet, so that's going to be a tricky play from there.
Tony going to get aggressive. This needs to hurry up to the right, and it does. Great shot from him. Should be able to get up and down from over there.
Oh, wow. Mark really finding himself into the thick of it.
Dude, let's go, bud.
Good progression, though. He's still hanging out on that left side. There's a few trees he's going to have to contend with on his third, but at this point, should be able to save his par. MJ, great shot. Should funnel down. Doesn't look like it does. Looking at a circle's edge putt. Trying to add on another birdie and put him 5 under through 9.
Stopped up a little short there by those rocks.
Little fluff from Cody. Probably wanted to put a little more on that. Tony giving it a good bid. Stops him right up. Should be an easy birdie. So that just did not have the turn I think Mark wanted. Outside the circle putt for par.
Slightly graded uphill as well.
Oh, yeah.
Strong side. Nothing but chain.
Good putt from Cody. A couple birdies to kind of finish out this front 9. Keeping it strong, keeping that lead. He actually has a bigger lead now than he did. Sorry, I forgot about MJ putting here, but only 2 strokes, but
MJ casually with a 5 down right now.
yeah, he is putting some pressure on Cody, keeping Tony and Mark honest. But with this back 9 coming up, 2 to 3 strokes can be swung pretty quickly. So Mark taking that blemish. As we take a look at these scores, Michael Johansen getting hot when it matters. Tony Moe, though, bogey free as well, hanging around, and Cody trying to keep this lead coming into the final 9.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it really can be anyone's game given the conditions on the back 9 here. So we are excited to show that off for you. Stay tuned for the back 9 here at the Birdie Open, presented by Gatekeeper Media, powered by Innova. Thanks, and see you then.